At the beginning of the 20th century, the James River was reeling from impacts of pollution and overfishing. Centuries of unsustainable human use was taking its toll on the river's health. The James hit rock bottom in 1975 when the toxic pesticide ketone was discovered in the river at Hopewell. Fishing was banned from Richmond to the Chesapeake Bay in December of that year, and the ban remained in effect for 13 years. The health of the river has improved dramatically since this time. Sewage, stormwater, and industrial pollution are managed in more river-friendly ways. Significant investments have been made by the Commonwealth of Virginia and local governments to improve the health of the James. After turning its back on the river for much of the 20th century, Richmond is reconnecting to its river and beginning to leverage it for quality of life and economic benefits. Numerous residential and commercial development projects are beginning to take shape on its banks, and Richmond has become the epicenter of Central Virginia's increasingly popular outdoor recreation scene, with the James offering activities including Class 4 whitewater rafting, paddling, tubing, fishing, and swimming. Richmond was named Best River Town Ever by Outside Magazine in 2012, and this accolade is a significant milestone for a river on the rebound. I'm Justin Doyle of the James River Association based in Richmond, Virginia, and during this session, you will learn about public access planning efforts along the James River with a focus on the Richmond Riverfront Plan, challenges with implementation of the Richmond Riverfront Plan, and Richmond's growing outdoor recreation scene and how the region is leveraging it. Let's get started. What is public access? So public river access creates opportunities for people to enjoy and develop an appreciation for the James River and its natural resources. The James River Association is a champion of expanding public access to the James and its tributaries. From the Upper James River Water Trail to the James River Heritage Trail to the Captain John Smith Chesapeake National Historic Trail, we expand public access to the James and its tributaries by partnering with federal, state, and local governments and other partners to plan and develop projects. Public access sites are locations owned and managed by a public entity or nonprofit organization in an agreement with a public entity, providing the following types of access: boat-related access, swimming access, fishing access, and viewing access. The James River Association's approach to breaking down barriers to enjoying the James River and its tributaries is threefold. We offer guided environmental education and outdoor recreation experiences. We create informational resources, including interactive online maps and trip planning tools. And we partner with federal, state, and local government agencies and other partners to plan and develop public access along the James River and its tributaries. Today, we're going to talk a lot about the Richmond Riverfront Plan. The City of Richmond commissioned Hargraves Jones, formerly Hargraves Associates, to create the plan, a guide for improving access to the James River. The James River Association sees this plan as a tool for expanding public access to the James River in the City of Richmond. The plan was created with considerable public and stakeholder input, and it was adopted by Richmond City Council in 2012. This map depicts the scope of the plan. The scope of the plan is focused on downtown Richmond, and you'll notice a lot of infrastructure along Richmond's riverfront, a number of bridges, and a lot of developed land on its banks. The Richmond Riverfront Plan sees Richmond's riverfront as a single, unified, cohesive system. Public riverfront spaces connected to other public riverfront spaces that are connected to adjacent neighborhoods. The plan makes recommendations for new public open spaces, water access sites, and improved connections to Richmond's riverfront. Like I said, the plan was adopted by City Council in late 2012, and we saw a lot of progress early on following its adoption. The Tredegar Green Amphitheater opened in 2014. The Lehigh cement silos were demolished, which created a new 1.5-acre public riverfront space in 2015. The 52-mile Virginia Capitol Trail opened in 2015. This is a paved pathway that extends from the City of Richmond to Jamestown. And a signature project of the Richmond Riverfront Plan, the T. Tyler Potterfield Memorial Bridge, opened in 2016. This photo depicts Richmond's riverfront. You'll notice a lot of infrastructure. I'd like to call attention to the levee structure that extends from the north bank of the river over to the south bank of the river. The Potterfield Memorial Bridge was constructed on top of that structure. And you'll notice a conceptual rendering of the Potterfield Memorial Bridge taken from the Richmond Riverfront plan in the bottom right corner of the page. I also want to point out the Tredegar Green kind of at the top of the photo. It's an amphitheater that's used for public music events throughout the year. This gives you an idea of the scope of the Potterfield Memorial Bridge, formerly known as the Browns Island Dam Walk. It extends from Browns Island across the James River to Richmond's south side and connects to neighborhoods in the Manchester area of Richmond. And here it is. This was a photo that was taken shortly after the bridge opened, and it's a wonderful addition to Richmond's riverfront. It is one of the most visited places on the riverfront and in the James River Park system. It's super accessible to pedestrians and bicyclists, and is a great way to experience the falls of the James River. Plan implementation has slowed since 2016. Plans for Richmond's East Riverfront were adopted by City Council in 2017. This was the first major amendment to the Richmond Riverfront Plan, and it really focused on Richmond's East Riverfront area. Improvements to Intermediate Terminal Dock, located on Richmond's East Riverfront, were complete in 2018. Funding was secured for 2 phases of the Grillis Creek Greenway project in 2019. This is a greenway that connects neighborhoods in Richmond's East End to Richmond's East Riverfront, as well as the Virginia Capitol Trail. And conceptual plans for the Missing Link project, which is actually a connection from the south bank of the Potterfield Memorial Bridge to areas of the James River Park system. Those conceptual renderings were presented in 2019. So we've seen some progress, but not as much progress as we saw immediately following the adoption of the Richmond Riverfront Plan. Again, here is the map of the Riverfront Plan, and I'll call out a few things. This is the Potterfield Memorial Bridge. Like I said, it opened in 2016. It was a $12 million project, and just a really wonderful addition to Richmond's riverfront. Here's the Tredegar Green Amphitheater project. It opened in 2014. And Richmond's East Riverfront down here has been the focus in recent years. But there's still a lot of work to do down here. The James River Park System Master Plan was adopted as part of the Richmond Riverfront Plan just last year. The plan was commissioned by Friends of the James River Park, a local nonprofit organization that advocates for the James River Park system. Friends raised $250,000 to create the plan and hired Hargraves Jones. Remember, they were the ones who created the Richmond Riverfront Plan. Hargraves Jones partnered with VHB to create the plan with considerable public and stakeholder input. And the James River Park System Master Plan builds upon and expands the scope of the Richmond Riverfront Plan. Challenges to implementation. So public and stakeholder support for implementation of the Richmond Riverfront Plan and James River Park System Master Plan are strong. But both plans contain numerous projects. Got a long menu of projects that could be implemented in each plan. Plan implementation requires political leadership. So I mentioned that immediately following the adoption of the Richmond Riverfront Plan in 2012, we saw some quick progress on implementation under a previous mayoral administration. Since the current mayoral administration took office in 2017, progress has slowed. And I don't want to say that the Riverfront Plan and James River Park System Master Plan haven't been priorities for the current mayoral administration, but we just haven't seen the same political will. And that's resulted in a lack of implementation. And plan implementation requires funding, millions of dollars in funding. Like I said, the Potterfield Memorial Bridge project was $12 million alone. We need a lot of money to implement the Richmond Riverfront Plan and James River Park System Master Plan. We just haven't found that consistent source of funding yet. Outdoor recreation on the James River is very popular in the Richmond region. A 2017 economic impact study conducted by Virginia Commonwealth University found the James River Park system generates $33 million in tourism annually. River recreation supports outfitters that offer activities ranging from guided whitewater rafting trips to tubing and other local businesses. Richmond Region Tourism is promoting the James River as the region's greatest natural resource. They see the James River as a reason to visit Richmond, and I wholeheartedly agree. I hope you all get the chance to visit Richmond and enjoy the James River someday. And the James River Park system is the most visited attraction in the Richmond region. And this high visitation emphasizes the need for Richmond Riverfront Plan and James River Park System Plan implementation. This chart depicts James River Park System visitation between 2014 and 2020. And visitation has increased dramatically since 2014. It's more than double. Whereas in 2014, we were seeing fewer than 1 million visits a year. Last year, we saw 2.1 million visitors. It's incredible visitation for a city park system. And it rivals visitation to some of our nation's national parks. Some key takeaways from this presentation. Breaking down barriers to rivers by expanding public access requires planning. Plan implementation requires public and stakeholder support, but most importantly, political leadership and funding. And riverside parks that accommodate a variety of outdoor recreation activities like Richmond's James River Park System have economic value. That concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer questions.